Trace the fracture running under skin tonight. Now insides, static in my bloodstream pushes every doubt apart from me. Okay, every lock's horizon bends but never fully breaks tonight. I count the pressure building somewhere underneath my ribs. All the noise of memory turns metallic in my mouth. I hold the line between collapsing, standing up again. Every second drags like chains across a frozen floor. I taste the iron of decisions I can't undo anymore. Gravity inside my chest keeps pulling downward hard. I let the signal burn through bone and carve a path ahead. Nothing here was bound for comfort or for easy exits. Still I walk through broken rhythm like it's meant for me. All my past collisions sharpen edges in my voice. Every promise mutates when the tension multiplies. I don't chase forgiveness, I just measure forward speed. Every scar becomes a coordinate I navigate by. There's no clean horizon, only layers I cut through. I move like fault lines shifting slowly under cities. Time compresses into fragments underneath my eyes. Every blurred reflection shows a version I outgrew. I push against the current even when it drags me back. Every breath recalibrates the distance left to go. I wasn't like a structure fused to bone. I turn instability into something close to drive. If the ceiling caves, I map the debris into steps. If the ground splits open, I convert it into lanes. There is no clean redemption, only vectors I choose. Every loss becomes a metric I can realign. I build momentum out of everything that tried to stop me. Forward is the only language left I still speak now. Every nerve remembers how the pressure shaped me once. Every doubt dissolves when impact levels out again. I don't need permission from the past I left behind. Every fracture forms a span that keeps me moving on. If this is damage, then it's damage turn to structure. If this is ending, then it's ending turn to start. Core tension gathers where the vectors intersect inside. Load-bearing thoughts align beneath my surface now. Every crossing force condenses into single will. I let the pressure choose the axis I become. Nothing here is hollow, everything has weight. Mass becomes the truth. I cannot step outside. Critical layers fold where impact meets intent. I recalibrate direction through compressed resolve. Every concentrated doubt converts to sharper drive. I don't diffuse the strain, I focus it to point. There's no scattered chaos, only clustered force. I learn to move through fields that try to slow me down. Center mass of memory stabilizes how I stand. Every past collision packs into structural code. I translate overrode to something close to control. Every lock sensation reinforces inner frame. The system tightens, but it never traps me still. I become the density I once tried to escape. engineered intent. I'll let the strain refine the path I'm moving on. If the corner starts, I redistribute the stress again. If the load multiplies, I adapt the inner frame. There is no pure balance, only managed force. Every loss condenses into stronger ground. I build endurance out of pressure. I survived. Forward forms from matter trying to hold me back. Every nerve recalls the density that shaped my form. Every scar records the force I moved against. I don't need lighter ground than what I crossed before. Every fracture compresses into something strong. If this is damage, then it's damage turned to base. If this is ending, then it's ending turned to core. Voltage in my spine starts rewriting how I stand today. Circuits made of memory overload but never fail. Every signal splits and merges into sharper lines. I let the pressure synchronize with something deeper now. Fragments of the past collapse into raw momentum. Nothing here is stable, but it still responds to me. Magnetic doubt keeps pulling thoughts off center line. I realign my focus through distortion in my chest. Every impact calibrates the rhythm in my veins. I turn resistance into fuel, I circulate again. There's no safe frequency that ever held me still. Only shifting bands of force I learned to navigate. I move through fractured data like it's sacred code. Every error writes a newer version of my core. I don't delete the damage, I convert it into drive. Every overload unlocks a hidden range in me. The system shakes but never fully shuts me down. I become the noise I once tried hard to outrun. Time dilates inside the seconds right before collapse. Every choice becomes a waveform I can still adjust. I push beyond the thresholds I was built to fear. Every limit line dissolves when pressure multiplies. I wear the feedback like a second skeleton. I let the chaos map the path I'm walking now. If I break apart, I reorganize in motion fast. If I lose a frame, I redraw structure from within. There is no reset, only forward translation now. Every loss converts to vectors pointing somewhere new. I build velocity from everything that scars me. Momentum is the only proof I ever needed now. If I break apart, I reorganize in motion fast. If I lose the frame, I redraw structure from within. There is no reset, only forward translation now. Every fracture widens space for something stronger now. If this is damage, then it's damage turned to power. If this is ending, then it's ending turned to rise. Teeth of time align inside the hinge of where I stand. Microfractures lock into a pattern I like metal under constant load. Every past collision leaves a measurable mark. I don't chase perfection, I refine the holding force. Every slip attempt just deepens where I anchor now. There's no clean rotation, only torque and counterforce. I stabilize through pressure, others try to flee. Particles of doubt compress into a denser core. Every external pull gets filtered into grain. I read the pattern written under every strain. Every lock vibration turns to usable intent. I let the micro damage reinforce the frame. Integrity is built from things that almost failed. If the hinge gives way, I redesign the pivot point. If the lock distorts, I redistribute with the load. There is no pure release, only managed pressure now. Every loss becomes a ridge I can still grip. I build endurance out of surfaces that cut me. Contact is the proof that I am still engaged. Every nerve remembers how the friction shaped my form. Every scar records the force required to move. I don't need escape routes from the paths I chose. Every fracture becomes structure in another scale. If this is damage, then it's damage turned to hold. If this is ending, then it's ending turned to brace. Tension fades slowly across fibers inside my chest, pulling distance, stretches spaces between our names. I measure silence forming where your voice once lived. Nothing here returns to how it felt before you. You left soft fracture patterns under fragile skin, still guiding motion even after you are gone. Breath moves slower through the spaces you once filled. Every second widening distance I cannot close. Your absence lingers deep inside my rib frame now. Forward motion feels like walking through still water. Static memories settle under quiet pressure. Nothing here responds the way it used to now. I trace remaining warmth across my inner structure. Every echo leaves a softer mark than before. You turn connection into something permanent. Endurance forms through nights I cannot explain. All weak defenses fell without a single sound. Only quiet signals move inside me now. If I break, I fall inward where you used to stay. If I hold, I carry pieces of you forward still. No restoration waits at the end of this road. Only slow acceptance shaped by time and distance. I am someone rebuilt around your empty space, still reaching toward the place you used to stand. Weight feels lighter, but the loss feels heavier now. Micro fractures spread beneath come daily. Breathing, your memory loops inside ordinary moments. Pain converts slowly into something like warmth. Nothing wasted, even if it still hurts sometimes. I count alone. Distance splits the signal, but it never fully dies. Every measured silence stretches tension in my chest. I map the intervals like scars across a hidden grid. Nothing here is random, every break has weight. Numbers cut the noise into something I can't hold. 17 steps across the fracture under thought. Balance shifts but never fully throws me off the line. Every missing piece defines the shape I move within. I trace the empty space like architecture air. There's no smooth continuum, only split domains. I learn to cross the void by rhythm, not by sight. 17 marks burned into structure of my will. Pressure calibrates the distance I can still endure. Every opposite phase rewrites the timing in my bones. I don't erase the error, I convert it into form. Static turns to language. When I listen close, I read distortion like coordinates for motion. 17 seconds stretched across a single breath. Time falls inward when the load exceeds design. Every fracture opens corridors I never planned. I move through broken symmetry without regret. There's no stable center, only shifting mass. I build direction out of vectors under strain. 17 lines connecting versions I outgrew. Every past alignment snaps, then reforms again. I let the distance sculpt the outline of my drive. Every lost position becomes leverage later on. Momentum grows where separation once lives. I translate absence into something close to thrust. 17 pulses echo through the frame I hold. Every gap confirms the structure still exists. I don't chase completion, I sustain the span instead. Every fracture holds the bridge I walk across. If this is distance, then it's distance turned to link. If this is ending, then it's ending turned to path. Compression builds inside the frame I operate within. Density of thought converts to pressure I can move. Every inward force sharpens how I choose direction. I let the load define the axis of my stance. Nothing here is light enough to drift away from me. Weight becomes the language every motion speaks. Internal gravity distorts the lines I used to trust. I recalculate the vector running through my chest. Every heavy memory condenses into drive. I don't escape the mass, I reorganize its pull. There's no empty space that ever truly stays. Only fields of force I learn to bend around. Stress refines the structure buried under skin. Every compact failure turns to reinforced control. I translate burden into something close to thrust. Every lock sensation becomes usable again. The system tightens, but it never seals me in. I become the pressure trying to contain me now. Time compresses when the force exceeds design. Every If the weight increases, I redistribute the load. There is no pure release, only managed mass. Every loss compacts into a stronger base. I build momentum out of everything that crushed me. Forward grows from forces trying to hold me still. Every nerve remembers how the pressure shaped my frame. Every scar confirms the density I survive. I don't need light to pass them ones already crossed. Every fracture packs into another layer now. If this is damage, then it's damage, turn to core. If this is ending, then it's ending, turn to force. Angle weight drifts sideways through the frame, I stabilize. Nothing loads straight down, it slides across my core. Every tilted force rewrites the balance in my chest. I hold the slant-like structure built to never fail. Pressure finds new pathways cutting through my will. I translate sideways, pull into forward drive. Diagonal stress cars, vectors under skin tonight. I recall gravity through offset lines of force. Every unstable moment locks into my stance. I don't resist the shift, I anchor through the slide. There's no perfect axis, only skewed domains. I learn to stand where symmetry dissolves. Mass displaced inside the chamber of my breath. Every angle memory compresses into code. I convert distortion into something I can steer. Every shifting load refines the path I take. The system bends but never fully breaks me down. I become the angle trying to redirect me. Time tilts slowly when the pressure stacks too far. Every second leans against my structural will. I push through asymmetry, forming under strain. Every limit plane warps, then clears the road. I wear imbalance like engineered design. I let the slant refine the way I move ahead. If the frame skews, I reinforce the offset points. If the load rotates, I counter with control shift. There is no pure alignment, only managed drift. Every loss becomes an angle I can use. I build momentum out of forces pushing sideways. Forward grows from vectors trying to bend me off. Every nerve recalls the tilt that shaped my form. Every scar records the load I held in place. I don't need level ground to keep moving on. Every fracture locks into another brace. If this is damage, then it's damage, turn to hold. If this is ending, then it's ending, turn to spin.